Every town in Britain has them. Empty shops, vacant offices, old banks, disused commercial units. Most people walk past these buildings and see a problem, but experienced property entrepreneurs see hidden value. Some of these buildings can be converted into residential apartments and become worth 2 or even 3 times more than their current commercial value. But not every commercial building qualifies, and not every conversion is profitable. So, the real question is, does this specific building qualify, and can it produce a profitable return after all costs, planning risks, and conversion work are considered? That is what this video will help you understand. If you are an active property entrepreneur, you have probably looked at several strategies: buy to let, HMOs, title splits, new builds, commercial conversions. They all sound promising, but more options often create more confusion. This is where many investors get stuck in strategy paralysis. You may find a vacant commercial building that looks perfect, but then the real questions begin. Does it qualify under Class MA? Has it been vacant long enough? Is there an Article 4 direction? Will prior approval be granted? How many units can you create? What will the conversion cost? What will the final value be? And, most importantly, will there still be enough profit after all costs and risks? This uncertainty causes investors to either walk away from good deals or waste months chasing buildings that were never viable. Commercial to residential conversion works because of one simple principle: change the use, and you can change the value. A vacant office, old shop, or redundant commercial unit may have limited value in its current use, but if it can be converted into well-designed apartments in an area with strong residential demand, the value can increase significantly. That uplift is called the conversion premium. It is the difference between what the building is worth today and what it could be worth after conversion, once all costs are included. This is why commercial to residential can be so powerful. You are not just waiting for the market to rise, you are creating value through planning, design, and execution. For many projects in England, the main route is Class MA permitted development. Class MA can allow certain commercial buildings to change from Class E use into residential use without needing a full planning application. But it is not automatic. The building usually needs to have been in Class E use for at least 2 continuous years. It usually needs to have been vacant for at least 3 continuous months. There are floor space limits. The building cannot be listed. It must not be in certain restricted locations, and you still need prior approval from the local authority. Prior approval can cover transport, highways, flooding, contamination, noise, natural light, fire safety, and impact on the surrounding area. This is where many investors make costly mistakes. They assume that because a building is empty, it can be converted, but planning does not work on assumptions. It works on evidence. That is why we created the Commercial Conversion Viability Checker. It helps you assess a commercial building before you waste time and money on the wrong opportunity. You enter key details like location, current use, floor area, vacancy status, and condition. The tool then helps assess whether the building may qualify for residential conversion under Class MA. It also helps estimate the likely conversion cost, potential residential end value, profit margin, Article 4 risk, and prior approval issues. In simple terms, it helps answer one question: is this a real commercial conversion opportunity or just an expensive distraction? I would rather you find out in 60 seconds that a building does not work than spend 3 months and thousands of pounds discovering it later. The money is made by finding buildings where the residential value after conversion is significantly higher than the commercial value today. But the numbers need to be tested properly. You need to understand the purchase price, build cost, professional fees, finance costs, planning risk, local residential values, and exit strategy. A building is not a good deal just because it looks cheap. It is a good deal when the numbers still work after reality has been included. That is the difference between a real opportunity and a risky guess. Let me give you a real example. One project we supported involved a vacant former bank on a high street in Reading. The building was around 400 square meters. The purchase price was £650,000. The strategy was to convert it under Class MA into 6 one-bedroom apartments. After prior approval, the building was converted and the completed apartments were sold. The total conversion cost was approximately £420,000. Each apartment sold for around £220,000. That created a gross development value of approximately £1.32 million. After costs, the project generated around £250,000 in net profit, representing approximately a 23% return on cost. But this did not happen by accident. It worked because the planning route was clear, the unit mix suited the market, the conversion costs were understood, and the project was assessed properly before major capital was committed. Commercial conversions can be profitable, but they are not risk-free. A deal can fail because the building does not qualify under Class MA. It can fail because permitted development rights have been removed through Article 4. It can fail because of prior approval issues like noise, flooding, contamination, highways, natural light, or fire safety. It can fail because the layout does not support enough units. It can fail because structural works, services, or compliance costs are higher than expected. And it can fail because the finished units do not match local market demand. This is why you should not fall in love with the building first. You assess the opportunity first. Then you decide whether it deserves your time and capital. This is where PCMA Elite comes in. PCMA Elite helps active property entrepreneurs move from education into execution. It is not just another property course, and it is not just consultancy. It combines the strategy, tools, and professional support needed to assess and pursue development opportunities properly. And where appropriate, you can access professional input from planners, architects, and development specialists. The goal is not to turn you into a planner or architect. The goal is to help you make better development decisions, avoid expensive mistakes, and execute viable projects with more confidence. If you have found a commercial building and want to know whether it could be converted into residential apartments, use the Commercial Conversion Viability Checker. It will help you assess the building before you waste time, money, and energy on the wrong deal. And if you're an active entrepreneur ready to scale with professional support, apply for PCMA Elite. We only work with a limited number of partners because proper development support requires focus. Read the details and submit your application.